Now friends, we are in the second quarter of exploring perplex numbers for writing event in spatial relativity. For this, we simply have to substitute the first part, which is real part, as c into t, which we have hypothesized in the beginning as time is real. We prefer system in which c is equal to 1, that is velocity of light is unity, to make this discussion simple, and b is equal to r, that is second imaginary part as the space coordinate in general r, to make an event representation which is in fact space-time position capital Z in perplex plane. This will offer us the ordered pair for Z as Ct and R. The matrix representation will be CTR RCT, a 2 by 2 matrix, which in Euler form can be expressed as mod Z e to the power j phi. Similarly, its complex conjugate appears on the screen, wherein we are replacing r by minus r. Now, the modulus of zz star under root is essentially equal to mod of z equal to mod of z star equal to c square t square minus r square. So here we are just finding determinant of mod of z, and the listener may verify that it bears the identity expressed in equation number 10, and phi is equal to tan h inverse of y component upon x component, that is r upon ct. Here the equal to sign is by mistake. The product z star will be product of two matrices, which on simplification offers zz star is a 2 by 2 matrix, which in fact can be written in a compact form as 2 by 1 matrix having elements c square t square minus r square and 0. This shorthand notation does not spoil the generality of representation. To depict that, you can look at the example expressed using a and b notation for the event, wherein we consider multiplication of a complex number and its conjugate. It can be shorthand noted as a matrix AB BA multiplied by simply A minus B 2 by 1 matrix. This will offer us a 2 by 1 matrix A square minus B square and 0, which is in fact a 2 by 2 matrix A square minus B square 0 0 A square minus B square. We are skipping the clumsy representation and writing a shorthand notation for the same without the loss of generality. Now here r upon ct resembles relative velocity. For that, consider r upon t, that is space upon time. We shall chart velocity, say u or v, for a material object which by hypothesis of spatial relativity ranges from 0 up to c, confining the relative velocity u upon c to range over 0 to 1. We are going to refer to figure number 1 next, wherein we are going to depict the relative velocity ranging over 0 to 1, and the quantity c square t square minus r square, we can offer different values to this quantity, to this hyperbolic quantity, that will offer us grid of hyperbolas spread over the space-time continuum, and phi, which is in fact r upon ct expressed as u by c ranging over 0 to 1, can be expressed to roll from 0 to say 0.99. For the light-like case, c upon c, it will be unity, and that is only permitted for photons or light in spatial relativity. Let us have a look at this diagram wherein we are charting c square t square minus r square having different constant values in the plane in the system where c is unity leads to a series of hyperbolas wherein t square minus r square equal to 0 offers this line and this line. C square t square minus r square equal to 1 offers this hyperbola. T square minus r square equal to 2 offers the next hyperbola, and so on. Similarly, phi equal to 0 is this line, which is your x-axis, or say time axis, which we are counting a real quantity. Now as the relative speed goes on increasing, the inclination of phi will go on increasing. So this is some increased value of phi, then further increased, and so on. It reaches to a maxima where tan h inverse of beta is tan h inverse of 1. That is the maximum value permitted, which overlaps this t square minus r square equal to 0. Thus the stationary objects which are not moving on real time are horizontal lines having zero inclination with x-axis. Obviously, we are considering it for the scaling c equal to 1, and we are terming that as time axis. The moving objects are inclined lines bearing some angle that ranges over 0 to 45 degree. The fastest move possible for photons or electromagnetic radiation, we have v equal to c equal to 1, which is represented by an inclined line that makes 45 degree angle with x-axis. The uncharted half plane is absolutely separated. We are talking about this region of space in which no grid lines are appearing in upper region as well in the lower region as absolutely separated. The perplex number mod z or mod z star or under root of mod zz star offers us c square t square minus r square, a quantity. The length of a perplex number is a quantity which is Lorentz invariant and is of interest in special relativity, which is regarded in special relativity as interval in space-time continuum. Now the Lorentz transformation equations we are borrowing from special relativity, which are Ct dash equal to gamma times Ct minus beta r, and r dash is equal to gamma times r minus beta Ct. This pair of equations can be expressed in the matrix form. These Lorentz transformation equations can be clubbed into a single matrix equation expressed as equation number 14, wherein on left hand side we have a shorthand notation in form of a column matrix Ct dash and r dash equal to a matrix gamma minus beta gamma gamma as a Lorentz transformation 2 by 2 matrix multiplied by a column matrix Ct and R. So here in fact we have represented Lorentz transformation in form of a 2 by 2 matrix, which is essentially a perplex number which is composed of an ordered pair gamma and minus beta gamma. Its inverse transformation is ordered pair gamma and beta gamma. This is essentially the complex conjugate of the Lorentz transformation. So we are having Lorentz transformation expressed as a perplex number, which can be mingled with the event in the special relativity to obtain the event representation in another coordinate system, which is for an inertial observer. Moreover, the product of Lorentz transformation and its complex conjugate offers us a unit matrix E0. Moreover, if you try to find mod of the Lorentz transformation and explore the relationship between beta and gamma, actually beta is V by C, relative speed. Gamma is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 minus beta square. So if you explore this relationship and try to find out mod of the Lorentz transformation, it is unity. So we have Lorentz transformation magnitude as unity, which on multiplication will not change the value, whereas only phi angle will cause a variation because minus sign is appearing in the Lorentz transformation. We are going to change only the angle. That angle is tan h inverse of y component upon x component. So it is tan h inverse of minus beta. Now let us look at the geometrical form of the Lorentz transformation. We have hyperbolic identity cos square phi minus sinh square phi equal to 1. We shall divide the entire equation by cos square phi so that on left hand side we have cos square phi minus sinh square phi upon cos square phi equal to 1 upon cos square phi. So on left hand side we have 1 minus tan h square phi equal to 1 upon cos square phi. So we can cross multiply and obtain cos square phi equal to 1 upon 1 minus tan h square phi. Taking square root on both sides, we have cos phi equal to 1 upon under root of 1 minus tan h square phi. This is very similar to the relationship gamma equal to 1 upon under root of 1 minus beta square. Therefore, we can replace cos of phi by gamma and tan h phi by beta. To obtain sinh phi, we shall multiply cos phi and tan phi. That will offer us simply beta into gamma. Now we can write the geometrical version of Lorentz transformation that offers us Lorentz transformation, which we are going to call as Lorentz boost, equal to cos phi minus sinh phi cos phi, which is having unity magnitude. So it is equal to 1 into, you can ignore writing that, e to the power minus j time tan h inverse of y component upon x component will offer you on simplification e to the power minus j phi. So when we operate Lorentz transformation on an event, we are not changing the magnitude of the event, but we are lowering the angle by minus phi, which depends in fact upon the relative velocity between two inertial observers, where phi is equal to tan h inverse of beta. Beta is rolling between 0 to 1 and hence phi is rolling between 0 to 45 degree. This graph depicts the variation of beta in the range 0 to 1 and how phi rolls is depicted on y-axis. So this slide represents various versions of Lorentz transformation as perplex number, wherein it is an ordered pair gamma minus beta gamma, or it is 1 into e to the power minus j times tan h inverse of beta, or in the geometrical form it is ordered pair cos phi minus sinh phi, which is in fact equal to e to the power minus j phi. After exercising mod of Lorentz transformation on mod of z, we obtain mod of z prime and phi prime. Mod z prime is c gamma t minus beta gamma r whole square minus inside bracket gamma r minus beta c gamma t whole square on simplification offers c square t square minus r square. So the event is preserved even after operating Lorentz transformation, which is preservation of event in spatial relativity claimed to be valid. This offers us equation number 24, which is very important, as proposed by Albert Einstein, that is preserved for all inertial observers. Now the Euler angle phi is tan h inverse of r upon ct, which is equal to tan h inverse of u upon c, where you can chart r by t as u. Similarly, phi dash is tan h inverse of r dash upon ct dash equal to tan h inverse of u dash upon c. So here u dash is r dash upon t dash. So we can rewrite tan h inverse of phi dash. For that we shall write r dash upon ct dash. We shall employ the Lorentz transformation equation, and we can simplify that and resubstitute the meaning of u and u dash to obtain an equation 27, u dash equal to u minus v upon 1 minus uv upon c square. Now, for the sake of interpreting velocity addition, we can exercise inverse Lorentz transformation instead, as we have done to obtain equation number 27, and by virtue of that inverse Lorentz transformation, we shall have the formula for addition u dash equal to u plus v upon 1 plus uv upon c square, equation number 28, which is composition of velocity expressed in spatial relativity. We shall revisit this issue of composition of velocity under the title Consequences of Perplex Number on Spatial Relativity separately, and we shall address the same equation by another way.